Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chap. 24 drawn to the lowstone rock of A Tale of Two Cities, book the second golden thread.
As.
Ah.
A Tale of Two Cities, book the second golden thread. Charles Dickens. Chap. 24 drawn to the lowstone rock of an angry ocean which had now no out, but was always on the flow. Higher and higher, it seemed. Peaceful tissue of the life of her home. The coroner, with hearts that filled them when they heard the thornging feet. Borrow. The footsteps had become to their minds as the footsteps of a people, tumultuous under a red flag and with their country declared in danger, changed into wild beasts by terrible enchantment none persisted in. Mensaner, as a class, had dissociated himself from the phenomenon of his not being appreciated, of his being so little wanted in France, as to incur considerable danger of receiving his dismissal from it. And this life together, like the fabled rustic who raised the devil with infinite pains, no question, but immediately fled. So, Mensaner, after boldly reading the Lord's Prayer backwards for a great number of years, and performing many other potent spells for compelling the evil one, no sooner beheld him in his terrors than he took to his noble heels. The shining bull's eye of the court was gone, or it would have been the mark for a hurricane of national bullets. It of Lucifer's pride, Sardanapalus' luxury, and a mole's bin the spot it had dropped out and was gone. The court, from that exclusive inner circle to its outermost rotten ring of intrigue, corruption, and dissimulation, was all gone together. Royalty was gone, had been besieged in its palace and suspended when the last tidings came over. The August of the year 1792 was come, and Mensaner was by this time scattered far and wide, as was natural. The headquarters and great gathering place of Mensaner, in London, was Tolson's Bank. Spirits are supposed to haunt the places where their bodies must resorted, and Mensaner without a guinea haunted the spot where his guineas used to be. Moreover, on came Cookist, Ian. Tolson's was a munificent house, and extended great liberality to old customers who had flown from their high estate. Ian. Those nobles who had seen the coming storm in time, and anticipating plunder or confiscation, had made provident remittances to Tolson's, were always to be heard of there by their needy brethren. Tidings at Tolson's, almost as a matter of course, for such variety of reasons. Tolson's was at that time, as to French intelligence, a kind of high exchange, and this was so well known to the public, and the inquiries made there were in consequence so numerous. It in the bank windows, for all who ran through Temple were to read, on a steaming, misty afternoon, Wister. Roy sat at his desk, and Charles Darnay stood leaning on it, talking with him in a low voice. The penitential den once set apart for interviews with the House, was now the news exchange, and was filled to overflowing. It was within half an hour or so of the time of closing. But, although you are the youngest man that ever lived, said Charles Darnay, rather hesitating, I understand. That I am too old, said Mr. Lorry, and settled with a long journey, uncertain means of travelling, a disorganized country. My dear Charles, said Mr. Lorry, with cheerful confidence, you touch some of the reasons for my going, not for my staying away. It is safe enough for me. Are so many people there much better worth interfering with? As to its being a disorganized city, from our house to our house there, who knows the city and the business of old, and is in Tulson's confidence. As to the uncertain travelling, the long journey, and the winter weather of Tulson's, after all these years, I wish I were going myself, said Charles Darnay, somewhat restlessly, and like one thinking aloud. Indeed, you are a pretty fellow to object and advise, exclaimed Mr. Or, you wish you were going yourself. And you a Frenchman born? My dear Mr. Lorry, it is because I am a Frenchman born that the thought which I did not mean to utter here, however, has passed through my mind often. One cannot help thinking, having had some sympathy for the miserable people, and having abandoned something to them, he spoke here in his former thoughtful manner, that one might be listened to, and might have the power to persuade to some restraint. Only last night, after you had left us, when you were talking to Lucy, Mr. Lorry repeated, yes, I wonder you are not ashamed to mention the name of Lucy. However, I am not going, said Charles Darnay, with a smile. And I am. In plain reality, the truth is, my dear Charles, Mr. Boy glanced at the distant house and lowered his voice. You can have no conception of the difficulty with which our business is transacted, and of the peril in which our books and papers over yonder are involved. The Lord above knows what the compromising consequences would be to numbers of people if some of our documents were seized or destroyed. And they might be, at any time. You know, for who can say that Paris is not set afire today, or sacked tomorrow? And a judicious selection from these with the least possible delay, and the burying of them, or otherwise getting of them out of harm's way. To be continued.